sunshine here in Manchester, and we have two rivals rekindling that old rivalry tonight for the first time since 1996, when it was one big league. But the last time Sheffield Tigers were in the top division of a league structure with more than one league was in 1988. So a big night here at the National Speedway Stadium. Bellevue Aces and the Sheffield Tigers, who race their home meetings over at the Owlerton Stadium in Sheffield. But here tonight, they're on the road, and they are at a fantastic speedway venue that's had rain earlier today, but the track looks absolutely superb, and we're ready for the first Premiership action of the 2021 season. And heat number one is quite a lineup to look forward to as well.
Yeah.
We've set the scene, we've got sunshine, track looks great, Kelvin.
It does indeed, and the rain over the weekend and again this morning has watered the track absolutely spot on. Excitement, I tell you what, you can touch it, and everybody's can't wait for this first race to get underway. And we're just about to get underway. Boyd's just doing a little bit of digging around on the start line, as is always the way, but there's no question that the home team will want to get off to a good start here.
Richie Worrell off the inside in blue for Bellevue. Kyle Howarth, gate 2 yellow for Sheffield. Gate 3 red, Brady Kurtz in the gate number 3 position. It's his Bellevue Premiership debut tonight. And Troy Batchelor won the league with Swindon 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now with the Sheffield Tigers going off the outside gate in that white helmet colour. Just a reminder, if you have just tuned in, Bellevue Aces are in the red and blue helmet colours, and Sheffield Tigers are in the white and yellow helmet colours. 3 points for a win, 2 for second, 1 for third, and nothing for finishing last. The Premiership is the top division of 3 in British Speedway, and we're almost ready to go. The 2021 British Speedway Premiership season is here. Let's go racing! Oh, an early start. Richie Worrell hits the tapes, and our referee, Graham Flint, straight away put the red lights on. Wow. And it was understandable, I suppose, after almost 2 years out of the saddle of league racing. The boys were nervous at the start, Kelv.
Yeah, I guess so. It's desperately disappointing for the home team, because they're going to be down Richie Worrell. I'm not quite sure what Mark Lemon will decide to do here, but clearly nerves on the start line there. As you say, a year and a half effectively away from the sport. And unfortunately for him, clearly see the exclusion light on for the rider in blue, Richie Worrell. And,
yep, so tape touching, and that means that Richie Worrell will, it looks like he's going to be replaced here by Jai Etheridge now. Jai Etheridge is the man who's going to come in to replace Richie Worrell. If you do touch the tapes, you can be replaced by a reserve rider. There is the 10-metre handicap that could have been taken.
Yeah, I was just waiting for that, whether we were going to put him off a 10-metre handicap. You can win races here. We've seen it done. In actual fact, we've seen it done by his brother, Steve, where he's actually come from a 10-metre handicap and managed to win the race. There's so much racing room here. Really excited to see the racing here again in the National Speedway Stadium. Of course, it is a young track, but it's already got a fantastic reputation around the world. Arguably one of the best tracks in Europe. We have seen a World Cup here where we've seen some devastating action. We've seen some league racing. British Championships as well night have been outstanding.
Yeah.
So I'm sure tonight should be a really competitive, exciting night at Speedway. Yeah,
some real memorable nights over the last 5 or 6 years that this stadium has been here. By the way, across in Norfolk, there is the delayed start to Kings Lynn, and they're in action against their rivals Ipswich. There is a delayed start because of heavy rain that hit the stadium there on a couple of occasions in the build-up to the scheduled start time. But our man Dave Rowe will be updating us later. They are working on the track, and they are intending to go racing. So hopefully we'll be able to bring you those updates from Kings Lynn against Ipswich throughout the course of the night when the racing gets underway there.
Wow.
In Norfolk.
Well, what a moment this is for Jai Etheridge. I mean, crikey, he wasn't expecting to be out in heat number 1 on the return of Speedway to the stadium, but he is now, and he's in the box seat as well. He'll have the inside gate, arguably the best gate in the opening race. It is a shorter run to the first corner. Newcomers to the sport, the inside gate often is the favourable gate because it's the short distance to the first corner.
Etheridge off the inside then it's Kyle Howarth off 2, Brady Kurtz off 3, and Troy Batchelor off the outside. What we'll say though is there's a big sweep around the banking on the turns here for the boys on the outside run, so watch out for that as well. We finally head up to Takestead for the second attempt at heat number 1 here. Can they get away first time? This time they can. And it's a good start for Jai Etheridge on the inside, and Brady Kurtz gets a nudge just off the inside there from Kyle Howarth, and Troy Batchelor is fairly wide, but it's the reserve, the man in the blue helmet colour, Jai Etheridge riding beautifully here, coming in as a substitute and tearing up heat number 1 here.
What a start this is from the youngster Jai Etheridge, away from the inside gate. He's pulling away from Kyle Howarth. Bit of an argy-bargy in the first corner with Brady Kurtz being forced wide. He's having to work overtime out the back. He's up the inside, and Batchelor tight in the bottom corner, the first corner there. But for Jai Etheridge, this is a fabulous opening ride from him.
What a dream start for a reserve rider in the Bellevue side.
Yeah.
Jai Etheridge from Australia has 1 lap to go. It's a 3-all as things stand. What can Kurtz do in red? Can Kurtz come on the inside? For 3rd place, this is for a point. Kurtz passes Batchelor. Batchelor's wide. Etheridge wins the race. Kyle Howarth 2nd, and a real hard-fought point for Brady Kurtz to just get the better of Troy Batchelor.
I've got to say something. I've missed it. I've missed it. Wow, Speedway burst back into life in 2021. Jai Etheridge, what a star he was there. Absolutely didn't put a wheel wrong, did he? Came under a bit of pressure early on, but then pulled away. Had the composure, kept the bike on the inside. Track was perfect. And a super hard charging ride from Brady Kurtz, who, when we see the replays, he had a hard time in the first corner. But crikey, good to hear and smell the bikes in the opening race tonight.
Oh, that was great, and a good ride by Kurtz, who took a bit of a nudge in the early stages of that race out wide. Etheridge the winner, then it's Kyle Howarth for Sheffield, Brady Kurtz 3rd for Bellevue, Troy Batchelor at the back, so it's a 4-2 to the home side. Bellevue lead after the opening race of the night. And what a start from Jai Etheridge.
Yeah, super start. I fancied the inside gate would be the better one, and he gets there, but you see just a little bit of a squeeze up there, and Brady Kurtz comes out the loser early on, with Kyle Howarth charging away as they come into the bottom corner for the first time. Just drifts wide there. He left the door open momentarily, but he had the composure then to make sure he covered that. And as the longer the race went on, the further he got away. He really did have the speed. And I've got to say, he looks a very tidy rider. Once again, away from the tapes. Kurtz working hard out of gate 3, but Kyle Howarth there, the hard charging Kyle Howarth wasn't. He just charged in there and shoved Kurtz wide. But it's a very good ride from Kurtz, actually. He recovered to get the better of Troy Batchelor, worked it out. And this move up the inside was sweet as you like as they go down the back straight for the last time. So a big 4-2, a very vital point there. That was a heat advantage to the home team in the opening race.
Busy start to the night for Jai Etheridge, because he's out again in heat number 2, coming up in the blue helmet colour, once again in his programmed ride. So there is a little bit of extra time being allowed for Jai Etheridge to prepare for heat number 2. He'll be alongside Tom Brennan in the Aces side. And Sheffield will be with James Wright and Josh Bates for heat number 2. So good to see the fans in the stadium here.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. The speed, the smell, the noise. All of a sudden it brought back great memories. This track is an outstanding circuit. Got to say that Chris Morton did a superb job in designing this track. Took a long time, but when they got there, it has been absolutely spot on. Track looks mint tonight. The rain over the weekend really has just given a little bit of bite in the material, and you saw there how fast it was.
I've got to say, Kelv, as well, it is a good job, and we are very thankful that we have this stadium here, because the Aces' former home next door, the Greyhound Stadium, is currently being demolished.
Yeah.
But here we have, and what David Gordon and Chris Morton did to get this place up and running was fantastic. Let's get some early reaction down in the pits with Steve Brandon.
Mark, a solid start, if not the 2 riders you thought were going to come to tapes for Heat 1 of 2021.
No, happy. We'll take that. Obviously, a nice start. We've got the choice of gates too on the inside to start the campaign. But I think Richie's just a little bit eager to go. The nerves probably got the better of him. And we did discuss it at the pre-track walk, sort of keep calm. It's been a long time since these boys have been on the track, so unfortunately they got the better of him.
You say it's a long time after the year we've had. How great is it to have Speedway back, and how great is it to see Speedway with fans in the stadium?
Unbelievable, unbelievable. It's hard to believe this day's actually come. It's just been such a tiresome, just treading water the whole time the last 12 months. I mean, we did run some couple of meetings here. We kept the history with the longest continuous running Speedway intact by staging a few events last year. So if we can go on and keep this winning run this year and maybe give something for the fans extra to celebrate after 28 years, that'll be the icing on the cake.
Well, Heat 2's coming up for the fans now. Throw back to Kelvin and Nigel.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks so much, Steve. Yes, really is so good to be back. Latest update we're getting from Kings Lynn is that they're hoping to get underway at around 8:15 now, because Keith Chapman and his staff will be working on the track at the Adrian Flux Arena across there, so aiming to go racing at 8:15 tonight. Sold all the tickets at Kings Lynn tonight. These restricted crowd numbers, people desperate to get out to see Speedway, and we've seen that here at Bellevue tonight, because they've sold all the tickets that they could really hear tonight at the National Speedway Stadium. There is an individual event tonight thanking the NHS for their work during the ongoing pandemic at Wolverhampton's Monmouth Green Stadium. That's an individual event tonight. Wolverhampton, one of the Premiership teams once again this season. Heat number 2 is coming up. This man is James Wright in the white helmet colour that we just saw, making a comeback to the sport, and has never ridden here, even though he is from Stockport and has family connections in the sport, but rode at the old place, but not here. It's off the inside, James Wright in white. Tom Brennan goes off gate number 2, the young man who is the rising star for Bellevue. Sheffield's rising star has a bit more experience. Josh Bates, Jai Edrich, race winner of Heat 1, is off the outside in blue, and away we go. First time of asking, and Sheffield have made a good start here. Josh Bates in yellow, he has the advantage. Alongside him is his teammate and partner James Wright. Now, what can Jai Edrich do in blue? Here comes Edrich challenging James Wright. He's got a lot of speed. Bates has that lead. Jai Edrich all over him. We've got a race on our hands here. Watch out for Jai Edrich in blue. He's going to go wider and wider here as he passes James Wright down the back straight. Wright will wind it on, but we've got good Speedway, and Bates is going to have to look over his shoulder as well.
Bates out in front once again. Gates 1 and 3 working a treat. Jai Edrich now chopping back to the inside. James Wright having to cover all the angles there. Good way to bounce back here for Sheffield Tigers if they can hang on. Tom Brennan is out the back. He rides on Jai Edrich. Right now, he is working overtime, but the Tigers here out in front are dominating heat number 2.
Well, Josh Bates, a rising star, but he does have Premiership experience, and it shows here. Bates for Sheffield, Wright for Sheffield, and Jai Edrich for Bellevue with Tom Brennan at the back, and that is a big visiting 5-1 for the Sheffield Tigers. There's not many of the Tigers fans that have made the trip across tonight. I can see some cheers on the back straight. But I'll tell you what, that's a big moment for Josh Bates as well. He suffered a neck injury in July 2019. He's had his injury problems, but that is a huge moment both for Josh Bates and for the comeback man, James Wright, who starts his professional career after 4 years out with a 5-1.
Yeah, well, both riders are going to be chuffed a bit. Gates 1 and 3, clearly an advantage, but they took full advantage of them. And Josh Bates, absolutely brilliant out in front, but there's no question that James Wright rode a sterling job, did a sterling job there, because Jai Edrich, winner of heat number 1, was all over him like a rash back in 3rd place. Good Speedway.
Yeah, I thought Etheridge was going to pass James Wright, and he did at one stage, but
very close.
Wright, with his experience, I think they had served him well. Bates, Wright, Etheridge, 5-1 to the Sheffield Tigers, and they now lead by 7 points to 5. I think James Wright's knowledge and experience from years when he did ride probably served him well there, Kelv.
Yeah, I think you're right, and there's no question that the grip is on the inside, and he had the he had the nous there just to make sure he didn't move off the line. Josh Bates there pretty much was winding on out in front. The grip at this stage is on the inside of the track, and you see Etheridge there winding on around the outside. It is further to go, but because the track conditions are so good on the lower part of the track, he just can't quite make it stick. Again, away from the tapes. Great start from Bates out of gate number 3. We saw Kurtz in heat 1 there, not quite get there, but this time the young Sheffield boy does. And for James Wright, he rides a very sensible ride back in second place, and this was a super 5-1 and an indication of the sort of night we're in for. It's going to be nip and tuck. Etheridge here working overtime back in third place. He had to work harder than he did in Heat 1 in Heat number 2, but for the Sheffield Tigers, they will be absolutely delighted to have picked up the 5-1, and they lead the meeting now by 2 points.
Yeah, so 2 races down here with fans in the stadium. What a feeling, what a feeling. Magnificent.
Yeah, talking about fans, I watched the FA Cup final where there were 20,000 people in Wembley, and it was fantastic. All of a sudden, you know, that sterile sort of football, you know this more than I do, Nigel, because you work on the football. It must be very odd in these sort of big stadiums with no people, and all of a sudden it was alive and there was passion and it felt like real sport again.
Yeah, I've become very well accustomed to some of the choice of words that players and managers use in football matches.
Do you understand them all, Nigel?
Very much so. Yes. And, no,
a little industrial.
They do say that sports is nothing without fans, and
well,
you know,
if we've learnt anything from the pandemic, that has hit home big style, hasn't it?
And fair play to all the players in the sports that have gone ahead with it behind closed doors to put the entertainment value on, whilst there's been lockdowns, and to keep the motivation up. Yep, it's a rider replacement for the man in white, Adam Ellis, and Sheffield have gone for Jack Holder, the big hitter. This is his debut ride for the Sheffield Tigers. Jack Holder, brother of the former world champion Chris Holder, who was world champion 9 years ago now, Chris, and Jack widely regarded as a potential world champion of the future. It's Stevie Worrell, the skipper, off the inside for Bellevue. Jack Holder in for Adam Ellis, going off gate 2 in white. Dan Bewley. It's going to be a good race between Holder and Bewley here. And Justin Sedgman has got the tough outside gate in the yellow helmet, the heat number 4. What a bit of movement to the start. Steve Worrell gets away, and the red lights are on.
No surprise to see the red light there. Worrell was nervous on the inside and just got away with a bit of a roller. He was lucky not to touch the tapes. That's why I say he was lucky to get away with it. There is a restart. We'll see the replay. Shame, both the Worrells nervous on the start tonight. Richie actually touched the tapes. You see there he was moving. He's going to have to behave himself. This is a big race, as you rightly say. 2 genuine world-class riders, young world-class riders in Holder and Bewley, who have flown back in from Poland, having ridden at the weekend for tonight's match. Not easy, actually, this year. Flying in and out across the continent, all sorts of paperwork and testing that has to go on to make sure the boys can get back. But it will be interesting to see how Dan Bewley gets on against Holder. Holder scoring a lot of points in the Extraliga. Bewley making his way.
He beat Bartosz Szmajslik yesterday.
But you tell me he beat the world champion over the weekend, which is a real feather in his cap. And because Szmajslik is a difficult man to beat anywhere at any time. But those 2 boys will be race sharp, won't they? Because they've been out racing at least 2, possibly 3 league matches already this season.
They have, absolutely. So they're in the groove. A little bit different for the likes of Troy Batchelor, who's only had practice laps. Has based himself in the UK all through the winter.
One other point I'd like to say while we've got a small delay is the fact that we've had a change of tyre manufacturer involved in British Speedway. We always had Mitas tyres that were involved forever, at least 2 decades, and now we've gone with the Turkish manufacturer who are involved with the sport now, Anlus now, and the tyre compound is different, and it will be interesting to see how that affects bike setups as the season moves on. So yeah, it's something that doesn't happen very often in Speedway, but it is something that's been introduced for this year.
Very good point you make, Kelv, as we build up to heat number 3.
I can see you're really excited about it.
Yeah, sorry, I just woke up there. You're the technical man.
Thanks for your enthusiasm.
Yeah. Just 2 wheels, clutch start.
That's right. How many races have we done?
Got engines in? Yeah, they've got engines. Steve Worrell off the inside in blue, then it's Jack Holder off gate 2 in white, Dan Bewley gate 3 red, and Justin Sedgman off the outside in yellow. We're waiting. I haven't actually got notification as to whether Steve Worrell was warned after that. He is on a warning, we're told. Yeah. Steve Worrell is now on a warning. 1 more and he's excluded. So Steve Worrell has got to behave himself off the inside gate here. Ron Shaw is our start marshal, and bringing them to order for heat number 3. Sheffield leads 7-5 here away this time. And it's Stevie Worrell from the inside gate. Now, Jack Holder tries the inside switch in white. Holder's got speed. Holder's got speed up the inside. Jack Holder for Sheffield in white. Goes to the high line and takes out Stevie Worrell. And Dan Bewley for Bellevue. The man at the back is Justin Sedgman. But that was a smart move by Jack Holder, who scored 14 points in the Polish Extra League yesterday for Torren. And he's starting well on his Sheffield debut tonight.
He is indeed. It looks like Worrell just drifted off the line coming out of turn 2. Holder was just held the bike down slightly lower and he got the grip. And I tell you what, you can see he's a rider that's already in form, pulling away out in front, just beginning to move a little bit wider as the dirt moves out, and Holder looks superb out in front. At this stage it's a drawn heat, it's a 3-all to both teams with Sedgman out the back, but Holder is a star man here in the rider replacement ride.
Yeah, Jack Holder, stunning ride. We'll see him again in Heat 4 as well. He's out in the next race for his own programme ride. A reminder there, he replaced the absent Adam Ellis on that occasion. Adam Ellis, by the way, who
how good did he look?
Yeah, he looked brilliant. Adam Ellis on the isolation list in Poland was refused boarding on his flight last night to get back to the UK. He tested positive last Thursday, but then tested negative ahead of his Polish match.
Yeah.
And he's therefore hopeful that it'll all work out, that he'll be at Sheffield on Thursday for their home match with Peterborough.
Holder looking good though, Nigel. Brilliant move in the first corner to get the better of Worrell. They all sat still and were well behaved in the second time of asking. Sedgman from the outside, it's tough there. A long way from gate 4, and he'll be looking forward to when he gets the starts on the inside. But for that man coming into the team, his debut ride for the Sheffield Tigers is a winning one.
Yeah, it was a tight squeeze early on, a really tight squeeze. Steve Worrell in second place, Dan Bewley was third. Stevie Worrell, the Aces captain, of course, and Dan Bewley third. That's a 3-all, 3 points apiece, so it's Bellevue 8, Sheffield 10 is the scoreline after 3 heats here.
There we go, the tapes are up, and it's Worrell on the inside. Initially gets to the first corner, he just drifts wide there. He's in the middle of the track, and Holder just holds it down a little longer and gets that run down the back straight and squeezes up the inside. And from that moment on, really and truly, it was all about second and third. You see, Worrell's made a smashing start on the inside, allows the bike to drift to the middle of the track here, thinking that that's where the grip is, but in actual fact, early doors, Holder goes the inside route and is able to get up the inside into turn 3. A nice move, and from that moment on, I tell you what, he looked very impressive out in front.
Yep, one of the former Poole Pirates riders, Jack Holder, and can you believe it, he is only second in the Sheffield averages behind Troy Batchelor, who Troy is actually the top average rider in the Premiership right now.
Might not be for long.
No, he might not be for long with that guy around. Jack Holder, absolutely.
Well, he's going in the
easy.
right way. He's a Grand Prix rider of the future for sure. Desperate to be in the Grand Prix as well. And of course he'll be out in heat number 4 again, but yeah, he's beginning to really fulfill his potential. Dan Bewley, I'm sure we're going to see more of him later on in the evening. He's riding well for Wrocław in the Extra Liga as well, so he flies around here.
Let's hear from the Sheffield manager, Simon Stead. He's got to be fairly happy so far with Steve Brandon.
Thanks, Nigel. We'll find out. Nigel Pearson said you've got to be fairly happy so far. You happy?
So far, so good. Delighted for Josh, you know, he's been out for such a long time, nasty injuries. He really needed that race win, so delighted for him, but a good start for the team. You know, you can see there's a little bit of nerves on the start line, but yeah, so far, so good.
Just to give viewers at home a sense of how the riders might be feeling, you rode Speedway for a long time. A year away from the sport, or a year away from riding one of these bikes, it's not as easy as people might think. It's not a case of just getting back on the bike, is it?
No, not at all. And, you know, even former GP riders like Troy Batchelor, he was nervous before then, naturally. But he just came in, first one out of the way, can go and enjoy the rest of the meet.
And quick word on Jack Holder, could be a Trump signing for this year.
Yeah, we were obviously delighted to get that signing over the line. Showed what he's made of there in the first one. We've got to do it again now.
Right, long way to go tonight. Thanks, Simon.
Thank you.
Yeah, great signing, Jack Holder. Of course, they had signed Nicky Pedersen, the 3 times world champion.
Shame he couldn't
season.
take that up, isn't it, with the new restrictions that the Extra Liga have put on riders. But interesting comments there from Simon Stead. I can concur exactly what he was talking about there. You know, it doesn't matter who you are and what sort of stage of your career you're at. When you've been out for a long time, you know, a lot of these riders haven't ridden for a year and a half. You're going to be nervous before your first ride. and you'll be really pleased to get it out of the way. Whether you've won it, obviously, if you've won it, that's a big boost. But either way, you just want to get into the meeting and get the 4 laps under your belt.
Yeah, one thing about this Bellevue track, we say how marvellous it is, and it produces great racing. But if you're a Bellevue rider, do you not think that the home advantage isn't quite what it should be, because everybody loves coming here?
That's true, and it makes it tough. You're going to have to, it's fast, so you're going to have a fast bike. That's obvious, isn't it? But that means that you've got to keep it right up to on top line all the time. So there's pressure on the home team here, certainly. But I think that they've got a team that should be able to hold their own. But Sheffield also looking very handy. Interesting to see how Charles Wright goes this evening. You and I were here, of course, when he won his British Championship. He was an outsider, he was an underdog that night, but he rode like an absolute champion, didn't he? Yep, made it to Cardiff for the Grand Prix as well, which was great as a wild card back in 2019. Here's the lineup: Jai Etheridge, busy man tonight. It's only Heat 4 and it's his third outing of the night. Josh Bates goes off gate 2 in the yellow helmet colour for Sheffield, a winner first time out. Charles Wright, Bellevue debut, gate 3 red. And that man Jack Holder, this will be a test because he's off gate 4. Yeah, it's much further to the first corner, and you're right, it will be a test. It's just a little bit greasy there where the sun hasn't quite got to the track, and it might just spin up a little bit more. Wright coming out of gate 3. We saw Josh Bates make a good start from gate 3. Jai Etheridge on the inside, and he won Heat 1 from there, so he could be a potential winner here as well. But interesting to see how Charles Wright goes, because this is his opening ride. Everybody else has had a race. Here we go with Heat number 4. Jai Etheridge has made an absolute beauty once again. Etheridge from gate 1, magnificent. And now Jack Holder is going to chase hard after it. Charles Wright gets the better of Josh Bates to come through into 3rd place. But watch out for Jack Holder. Jai Etheridge has that advantage. Holder's going to wind it on again. Holder is gaining ground. It's all about picking the right moment to go wide. Gets Jai Etheridge's move. But Holder is definitely making ground. He is right up his exhaust pipe. He is indeed. Smashes up and Jai Etheridge. Don't look back. He's there. Right there. Holder having to work, but once again the youngster out in front is riding a really good line, a very composed line, and is managing to hold his own out in front. Holder in 2nd place. Now we've got Charles Wright coming into the picture. A lap to go for Etheridge, and a heat advantage on the cards for the Bellevue Aces. Going to be quiet, a feather in the cap for the Bellevue reserve. Jai Etheridge if he can beat his fellow countryman Jack Holder. He's going wide now. One last throw of the dice from Jack Holder. Etheridge, has he done enough as Holder comes wide? It's a great ride from Jai Etheridge for the Bellevue Aces. And they get a 4-2 advantage to level this match up again after 4 heats at 12 points apiece. And that is quite a feather in the cap of Jai Etheridge to get the better of Jack Holder, one of the best riders in the world right now. Super ride, absolutely super ride. Showed great composure. Holder was coming at him hard. You said it, Nigel. He had more pace, but Etheridge wasn't to be worried off that line. If he'd moved away from that racing line he was on, Holder was there ready to pounce. And 2 wins out of his 3 rides so far. That's an excellent return for the youngster. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, 7 points from 3 rides for Jai Etheridge. Good start for him. And there's the victory for Etheridge. Jack Holder in 2nd spot for Sheffield. Charles Wright for Bellevue 3rd, and Josh Bates at the back on that occasion. 4-2 for the Bellevue Aces, which levels it up here after 4 heats. It's the Bellevue Aces 12, Sheffield Tigers 12. What a start. He had a clean pair of heels to the opposition into the 1st corner. Holder slots into 2nd place early doors, and then Charles Wright coming into 3rd place. But the action was all about the first 2 here, really, with Etheridge just working hard, with Holder trying to figure out the best way to get past him. Again, look at that bike, absolutely fabulous to the 1st corner. Super feeling as a rider when it really digs in and drives hard to the 1st turn. Holder, who won the previous race in fine style, could not find a way. He had speed there, look, but he just couldn't get through because the man in front was riding the right line, and he held his composure right to the checkered flag. Good speedway. It's 12 points all. Could go either way this match. Well, they used to call it the War of the Roses back in the 80s with some great rivalry, and they're level at 12 points apiece here at the National Speedway Stadium. Jai Etheridge, 7 points from 3 rides. Great start from him. Heat number 5 is coming next.
Key, especially if you're off that outside. Okay, let's head back to your commentary team then of Nigel and Calvin.
Thank you, Abby. Yes, building up to heat number 5. Sunshine over the back straight there. We see Troy Batchelor, a winner with the league winner with the Swindon Robins back in 2019. Normally goes pretty well around here. Likes this Bellevue track, but then again, quite a lot of riders do like this Bellevue track. The man up at the tapes right now is Kyle Howarth in yellow, who is from this part of the world, but riding for the Sheffield Tigers in the Premiership this year. And Dan Bewley and Stevie Worrell are the riders out here for the Bellevue Aces. It's nicely poised at 12 points apiece with 11 races remaining in the opening Premiership fixture of the season. And as you saw with Dave Rowe, they're not quite underway yet in Norfolk at Kings Lynn. Wolverhampton's individual event has been abandoned after 2 races tonight.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Because of the after effects of heavy downpours, track was unfit. So, such a shame after such a long time with no speedway at Wolverhampton as well. Kyle Howarth goes off the inside in yellow. Then off gate 2 in red, it's Dan Bewley. Gate 3 is Troy Batchelor for Sheffield. And then Stevie Worrell going off the outside gate in blue. 12 points each. Nicely poised. Sheffield with the inside gate here in yellow with Kyle Howarth. Which way will this one go? And away, and Dan Bewley's made a good start from gate 2 in red. Howarth just looked nervous at the start there, looked like he jumped slightly. Here comes Batchelor now in the white helmet colour. Troy Batchelor's going to try the outside run for Sheffield Tigers. The lead is with Dan Bewley, who is the track record holder here at the National Speedway Stadium. Bewley has the lead, Batchelor second, Howarth third. It's a 3-all as things stand, Kel.
What a start from Dan Bewley, that's more like it. Not renowned for his starting, must have been working on it big time in Wrocław in Poland, because he absolutely flew away from the start. We're beginning to see the style of Bewley out in front is pulling further and further away. 3-all as it stands with Batchelor now going to pick up his first points on the night after failing to score first time out with Worrell out the back. But Dan Bewley, this will settle him down really nicely, Nigel. He looks impressive out in front.
Yes, he does indeed, and he's going to win this race fairly comfortably now as well. The young Cumbrian, Dan Bewley, on his way to victory in Heat 5 for the Bellevue Aces. But Kyle Howarth and Troy Batchelor packing the minor placings there. They get a 3-all and the meeting remains level. I just thought Kyle Howarth just anticipated and just jumped the start there, hesitated slightly, but Dan Bewley cashed in, took full advantage.
Yeah, well, his bike drove better to the first corner, Nigel, and got the better of Howarth, who was trapped on the inside. And from that moment on, you can see the maturity now beginning to come to Dan Bewley. Always fast, always has been, but his starting hasn't been very good. But there, and if you're going to ride in the extra league in Poland, you've got to be able to start, otherwise you don't score any points and you're sent home. Yeah. So for Dan Bewley, an impressive second ride tonight.
Yeah, you get found out pretty quickly in Poland, don't you? That's for sure.
You do indeed.
Yeah, good ride indeed. So well done, Dan Bewley. I'm sure we're going to see big things of him. Speedway of Nations for Great Britain as well. Troy Batchelor second, Kyle Howarth third, and Steve Worrell at the back. I don't know, Kelv, I've just got this hunch that Bellevue will pull clear later in the meeting. I just get that feeling.
Okay, that's your gut instinct, is it?
You disagree, do you?
I'm not so sure. I think this is going to be tight right the way through, but what do I know? Oh, bit of a movement. You're dead right, Nige. Looking at that, Howarth lucky. And there, it did jump. You're absolutely
I'm not
right.
Very often, Kel.
No, you're not. You've got some good glasses there. They're new, aren't they?
They are new,
They
yes.
are brand new.
£1.50 to see through these.
£1.50. They saw you coming.
Yeah.
Here we go again. And look at Dan Bewley digging in. Although Howarth was a little bit jumpy on the start, Bewley got the beautiful run to the first corner, and from that moment on, the style of the youngster out in front is looking good. He's fit, he's fast, and Simon Stead, part of the Great Britain setup, of course, will be delighted to seeing Bewley on top form.
Yeah, had those dreadful multiple injuries at Workington.
Oh, from Workington, yeah. Yeah,
it was dreadful, and there were times when he was probably questioning whether he'd ever regain full fitness, but goodness me.
He's going to be a superstar,
he is,
Bewley, and there's no question that he's got plenty Stevie Lawson in there looking after him as well. He's a good, steady man. Of course, he was a hero, of course, for Glasgow, Stevie Lawson, but working away in the pits, but a young rider going in the right way, and he's a Brit, which is great.
Yep, good to see. Heat number 6 coming up here. Another big hitting lineup. There's Jack Holder in white, who we've seen win 1 and finish second, 5 points out of 6 so far for the Sheffield Tigers. tonight. 15 points apiece. Bellevue Aces 15, Sheffield Tigers 15 here on the opening night of Premiership Speedway with fans in the stadium. The main stand in front of the Peter Craven Suite here at the National Speedway Stadium. So good to see, and the south stand over the back straight as well. Brady Kurtz going off the inside here for Bellevue, then it's Jack Holder off 2 in white for Sheffield. Then it's Richie Worrell off gate 3 in blue. Has had to wait a while because he touched the tapes in heat 1. And James Wright goes off the outside in yellow. He'll find it a little bit tougher here from gate 4 in heat 6 to have any joy tonight.
He will, and there's looking like Richie Worrell has actually changed his bike here. No, he hasn't. He hasn't gone anywhere, has he? He got excluded first time out, so that's why he's got a clean and tidy bike. Interesting tussle here for 2 former teammates, of course. Kurtz and Holder riding for Poole previously, and now they're riding against each other. But there's no question that Holder and Kurtz will certainly be very keen to get the better of one another.
Here we go, it's a good start from Jack Holder in a white helmet colour. What a start that is. Brady Kurtz second in red, third in blue. It's Richie Worrell for the Aces, and James Wright has got speed. He's trying to land a blow at the back, but it's a three-all-a thing stand. Jack Holder in the white helmet colour looking good, but James Wright far from out of it at the back. He's on the pace at the moment. Kurtz second and third in blue. It's Richie Worrell. It looks like it's going to be stalemate again here.
Jack Holder looking absolutely sublime out in front. What a start it was. Kurtz is having a real go. Look at them go. It's such a spectacular track when they go up on the bank. And Scotty Nichols was talking about it, that the outside line was going to start developing, and sure enough it is. Holder out in front, a lap to go. Kurtz chasing as hard as he can. It is a 3-all with Richie Worrell back in third place, but it's a high-speed demonstration from Holder.
Oh, he's just making it look easy, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's absolutely making it look easy. Jack Holder from Australia, riding for the Sheffield Tigers. That is a stunning ride. As we say, he's only second in the Sheffield team averages. That won't last too much longer on form like that for sure.
No.
What a wonderful display from Jack Holder. 8 points out of 9 from his 3 rides so far. And we are still level between these 2 rivals, Bellevue Aces and Sheffield Tigers. 18 points apiece after 6 races. And yeah,
it's great.
shaping up nicely.
It is great, and you're right, but a very impressive ride once again from Jack Holder. He got beaten by Jai Etheridge last time, but this time he made a smashing start out of gate 2. And as hard as Kurtz tried, and you can tell that Holder's switched on and he's racing because his brain's in gear, because he immediately identified where he needed to ride, further out wide and generating more and more speed. Really good looking ride.
Jack Holder the winner then, with Brady Kurtz second. Richie Worrell was third. James Wright at the back that time, 3 apiece. Bellevue Aces 18, Sheffield Tigers 18. And we are hearing that Kyle Howarth will ride in white instead of Adam Ellis for the Sheffield Tigers under the rider replacement facility. What a start from Jack Holder. Look at that.
It was textbook stuff. It really was. He was so clear as he got to the first corner, and Brady Kurtz back in second place really tried hard, but he couldn't quite match the pace. But that is just a dream start. As a rider, that is perfect. You could feel the bike accelerating so hard underneath you, and he was able to really then dominate proceedings throughout the 4 laps. It's the first points of the night for Richie Worrell and the first laps for Richie Worrell, so he'll be pleased about that. But for Holder, well, he's showing that's what he's all about, and there's a rider that quite clearly is developing at a rapid rate. Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff indeed from Jack Holder. If anything, he's making it look easy, and we want to see some close racing. We want to see some passing.
Oh,
Somebody have a word with him,
Dan
please.
Bewley and him are going to come
Oh,
head-to-head later on, and that could be really mouth-watering stuff. I'm sure they're going to have a bit of a showdown
Heat
later
15.
this evening.
Heat 15 and Heat 9. Yeah, Bewley in red and Holder in white.
There
so
you
that's
go.
one to look forward to.
Yep.
And I'm sure they'll be head-to-head in Heat 15. Will that be a last heat decider?
Well,
Will I be made to eat my words?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I haven't looked that far in front, Nigel.
No,
I'm just
neither have
taking
I,
it a
no.
race at a time.
No, I'm just enjoying it. It's just
Oh,
brilliant.
it's brilliant.
And by the way, at the end of October, I will never, ever, ever say again, I've had enough of Speedway, I need a break from it. Never.
Well, you got one, didn't you?
We got a big one. We got a big one. And we're back. And it's brilliant.
Yeah, super.
It's number 7. And it's Kyle Howarth off the inside gate then, the rider replacement rider taking the ride of Adam Ellis, who's absent tonight because of the isolation rule in Poland right now. And Ipswich have got a 5-1 at Kings Lynn in the opening race. So Jason Crump getting a 5-1 on his big comeback to British Speedway. Anyway, Kyle Howarth off the inside in white. Charles Wright going off gate 2 in red for the home side of Bellevue. Justin Sedgman off gate 3 in yellow for the Sheffield Tigers. Tom Brennan going off the outside in blue. The rising star for the Bellevue Aces. Charles Wright favourite for this one, perhaps?
Yeah, you know, gate 2's been working well, so he's got a good chance to get to the first corner. It is very fast and the dirt line's wide, and it isn't going to be so easy to pass, but for Wright that is an opportunity for sure. But Howarth on the inside, you can never write him off. He's hard charger. Here we go.
Yep, heat number 7 it is here. And away they go. And hitting that first turn is Kyle Howarth for Sheffield. Howarth goes wide. Now watch out for the man in yellow, Justin Sedgman. How did he spot that gap superbly through? And Sheffield are on a 5-1. Justin Sedgman in yellow, Kyle Howarth in white. And now the Aces have got it all on here with Tom Brennan in blue, and Charles Wright, unbelievably here, is trailing at the back.
Wow, what a start from Howarth. That really set that up beautifully. He then ran wide in the first corner, and that allowed and opened the gap up for Sedgman. Sedgman then pounced and charged through. It's looking good out in front. But I say, Tom Brennan's having a good go in third place. He's not out of the running. The rising star there. Keep your eyes on him. He's well and truly in it. But out in front, Sedgman's having a go. Brennan on the inside. Keep your eyes on him.
Yeah, Brennan riding beautifully. That was a great effort from Tom Brennan.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite get there. Kyle Howarth closed the door, but Tom Brennan is a talented young rider and using every inch of this track. But what about this from Justin Sedgman and Kyle Howarth? Sheffield Tigers retake the lead with a huge 5-1 around the halfway stage of the meeting. Justin Sedgman and Kyle Howarth, and also significantly from Adam Ellis's 2 rider replacement rides, Sheffield are unbeaten. Wow.
Brilliant. They're going to pull away Bellevue at the end of the meeting, aren't they, Nigel?
There's still time.
That's right.
There's still time, Kel.
Yeah, there is. It's, we're not quite at the halfway point yet, but that is an important result for the away team, the visiting team. Smashing ride from Justin Sedgman after failing to score first time out. Just opened up perfectly for him as he came out of turn 2. He just swept off the banking, got his wheels in line early, and actually charged to the front down the back straight. And from that moment on, he was no looking back for him.
It was a great move from Sedgman down the back straight.
Yeah, we'll see it
it
again now. Sedgman's out of gate number 3, yellow helmet colour. Doesn't quite get there, but then just squares the corner off with the 2 boys on the inside running wide. Howarth did the business for him. Actually, whether he meant it or not, he actually opened the door beautifully for his partner, and from that moment on they were on a 5-1. A good ride from young Tom Brennan here back in 3rd place. He does not throw the towel in. He actually gains momentum throughout the race and puts pressure on Howarth later on.
I told you Charles Wright was favourite for that race, didn't I?
Charles Wright, my good friend alongside me here, thought he was going to win the race. He was wrong, actually, in the case. He failed to score. But there's time for Charles, I'm sure, to bounce back.
I'm rusty as well, Kel.
Yeah,
come on,
okay.
give me a chance
Yeah,
here.
all right, okay, yeah, you've got a second chance. Okay, but Sedgman wins in style. He'll be chuffed to bits with that. And there's no question that young Tom Brennan will be buoyed by that race back in 3rd place. But more importantly, the visitors are now a few points up with a massive 5-1 in heat number 7.
Yeah, great ride from Justin Sedgman. His 2nd spell with the Sheffield Tigers. Rode for them in 2019 towards the end of the season as well. But so far, so good for the Sheffield Tigers here in the War of the Roses. Premiership points on the line tonight. When we come back in a few moments' time, we'll bring you heat number 8 and the latest score from Kings Lynn.
And as I say, the start and finish straight here looks well and truly, well, there's a smashing atmosphere. But here we see the boys just getting ready for heat number 8.
Yep, heat number 8 it is. Off the inside in the yellow helmet is Josh Bates for Sheffield. Gate 2 in blue, Jai Etheridge, a busy man tonight, 7 points from 3 rides for the Bellevue Aces. Gate 3 in white is Kyle Howarth for the Sheffield Tigers. It's his 4th ride of the night. And then going off the outside for the Bellevue Aces in the red helmet colour is Richie Worrell. Only his second ride of the night, because in the heat number 1 he touched the tapes and was replaced by Jai Etheridge.
Got to say the pressure is on the home team now after the 5-1 in the previous race to the Tigers. They've got gates 2 and 4 here. They're going to need, I just sense they're going to need Etheridge on gate 2 to really do the business there, to keep Josh Bates at bay going to the first turn.
Yes, heat number 8 it is then. The starting marshal, Ron Shaw, just making sure the riders are in place and ready to go in a satisfactory manner. 23-19 Sheffield lead here. Here we go. Away from the start. Heat number 8, Bates has made a good start in the yellow helmet colour. Watch out for the man in red, Richie Worrell around the outside, but Josh Bates has blocked the line. Worrell is going to try the outside run here. Worrell has got speed. He's got the dirt. He's got the drive, and he's blasted round the outside of Josh Bates. Third in white here is Kyle Howarth, and the man in blue is Jai Etheridge at the back right now. But Richie Worrell, nothing was going to stop him there. He's ridden this track well in the past, and he hit the outside run perfectly.
Yeah, well, after the disappointment of touching the break in the opening ride, he's certainly beginning to make his mark here. Superb out in front, great move in turns 3 and 4 in the opening lap. Jai Etheridge out of gate number 2 has hit the fence down the back straight and done very well just to stay on. My goodness gracious me, he must have had his heart in his mouth there. He's out the back and he looks like he's going to fail to score this time. Richie Worrell out in front, but the Sheffield Tigers are going to maintain their 4-point lead.
Yeah, 3-all will do Sheffield all day long. It's a win for Richie Worrell for the Bellevue Aces, but Josh Bates and Kyle Howarth pack the 2nd and 3rd places for a 3-all. It's going to plan for Sheffield without Adam Ellis tonight, remember? And they're still 4 points ahead.
Wow. I'll tell you what, Jai Etheridge may have to change his underwear after what happened down the back straight there, Nigel, because, crikey, he hit the fence really hard and did well to stay upright. Well, we'll see it again in the replays, and when you're at the end of the back straight, you are really pressing on. I mean, the speed is high, and he was a little bit out of shape. But for Richie Worrell, he was fast, and he was all under control, and he rode really nicely there. And he'll be pleased with his first win of the season.
He will indeed. And Richie Worrell, the race winner. Josh Bates in 2nd spot. He's got 5 from 3 rides now. Kyle Howarth, a 3rd spot there. Puts him onto 6 points from his 4 rides. It's a 3-all, and it means that it's Bellevue Aces 22, Sheffield Tigers 26, and my prediction of Bellevue pulling away later on is under threat.
It is just a touch. There is time, but you're running out of it. Here we see the start, and down the back straight for the first time. Bates has made the start, but this is Richie Worrell. He makes his move early, gets the bike in the back wheel, on the back of the edge of the dirt rather, and he slingshots round that bottom corner really nicely. And there was just enough racing room here. Bates doesn't squeeze him too hard. He takes a tear off there as well. Look at that. That was real commitment there from Worrell. And fires himself up, but got to say, there's the moment. He literally launches off there. He did well to stay on, you know. When you're going that quick, it really is quite hair-raising. But for Richie Worrell on the back wheel, celebrating in style, picks up his first win of the season, 3 points in the bag. And after a disappointing start, all of a sudden he's got his night back on track. Good stuff.
Much more like it, yes indeed. Ipswich lead 15-9 at Kings Lynn, going well for the Witches there. And
that's a bit of a surprise for me, but conditions are playing their part there.
yeah, it's absolutely hammered down around the stadium and at the stadium.
We just saw some footage of one race there. It did look tricky, but no, nonetheless, a great start for the Witches away from home.
We're up to heat number 9 here. So far, so good for the Sheffield Tigers, who are 26 points to 22 up here in their first top flight meeting since 1988. I'm not counting 95 and 96 when it was one big league. 1988 was when they were in the top league of British Speedway. Jack Holder's off the inside gate here. He's going to take some stopping. Yes, it's going to be good to watch. Steve Worrell off gate 2 in blue. James Wright gate 3 in yellow. And Dan Bewley is going off the outside run in red. This is going to be well worth watching.
Yeah, it could be quite tasty, this. 2 riders coming in from Poland who are riding regularly, and the 2 riders are in top form. Holder we've seen plenty of. Bewley a winner last time out. And gates 1 and 4 could be where all the action is. Can't discount the other 2, of course, because they could very well play their part. But certainly for Stevie Worrell, who's been a little bit up and down tonight, he's got gate 2, needs to bounce back here, be captain of the team, of course, if you're looking for a captain's role here. But interesting racing prospect.
Number 9. What a start that is from the man in blue, Steve Worrell, but Holder takes it wide. Now watch out for Bewley on the inside. Holder has the lead in white. Dan Bewley is second. Third in blue is Steve Worrell. And the man at the back, James Wright, has been left trailing. But we've got a race on here now. Dan Bewley in red and Jack Holder in white. Two riders who feature in the biggest and richest speedway league in the world, the Polish Extraliga. Holder just hangs on. But this race has got some way to go.
He has indeed. Bewley missed the start, but he cut back to the inside in the first corner. Holder made a great one off the inside. Already Bewley and Holder really beginning to work hard out in front, but Holder's got the advantage as it stands. Certainly riding out of his skin tonight, enjoying conditions. Bewley, though, with just over a lap to go. Can he do anything about the Australian out in front?
Well, with Jack Holder and Dan Bewley going head-to-head here, you're having a glimpse into the future of World Speedway.
Yep.
The Grand Prix Series, they're destined for that, surely. Jack Holder is going to take the checkered flag. A magnificent debut. 11 points from 4 rides for Jack Holder for Sheffield tonight, and he keeps his side 4 points up with only 6 races to go now. That is magnificent from Holder. Dan Bewley, try as he might, went from gate number 4. That ultimately perhaps is what cost him, because he had a real good go, but Holder just had too much for him when the pressure was on.
You could well be right there. Gate 4 is a disadvantage this evening, no doubt, but he made a good move in the first corner, but Jack Holder had fresh air out in front of him. He had to ride fast, though, because Bewley was right there, putting pressure on him for at least the first 2 laps. But the 2 boys that have flown back from the continent, certainly putting on a good display there. But for Jack Holder, he really is enjoying a great night on his debut for the Tigers. He's riding great. But would have been interesting if Bewley had actually been alongside him on the start line. I'm sure there will be an opportunity to see that. But Holder out in front picks up the big 3 points.
Holder the winner with Bewley second. Steve Worrell was third. And that's a 3-all again, and that'll just do Sheffield. Bellevue 25, Sheffield 29, 6 races to go. And at this stage, if you're a Bellevue fan, you're looking at the scorecard and you're thinking, races are going to start running out of here.
Oh, indeed. I've got to say, Steve Worrell looked like he made the start initially, but just on that last bit to the first corner, it was Holder. Bewley then comes into the equation by chopping back to the inside immediately from gate 4. And as they complete the first lap, it really is not, there's hardly anything to choose between the front 2. There we see again with Holder making his way to the first corner. Bewley bursting in on the action as he comes charging up the inside of his teammate. But then he's determined to put pressure on the man out in front. There's very little to choose as they complete the first lap, but Holder out in front. Although he's under a lot of pressure here, particularly there, that's tight, but he just had the momentum coming out of turn 2 for the second time, and the Australian goes on to win, to lower the colours of Dan Bewley when they meet in heat number 9. Super Speedway, high-class Speedway, and the Aussie boys enjoying a great night.
Yeah, some great stuff there. We're up to heat number 10 now. Josh Bates takes another ride here. He's taking the place of Adam Ellis here. For the Sheffield Tigers in the white helmet colour. But Kyle Howarth, the Sheffield skipper, having a chat with Jack Holder. 11 points from 4 rides.
Great effort. And he'll be enjoying himself for sure, relaxed. And back in the UK, riding for the Tigers, who look like a good outfit. This is an opportunity for the home team to bounce back. Of course it is, but gates 2 and 4, not easy. But they really have now got to get themselves back in this, because Sheffield looking solid.
Yes, and it's Justin Sedgman off the inside gate, winner last time out very impressively. Gate number 2 in blue is Richie Worrell for the Bellevue Aces. Then it's Josh Bates for Sheffield Tigers in for Adam Ellis off gate 3 in white. And Brady Kurtz goes off the outside in the red helmet colour. That's your lineup for heat number 10. Can Bellevue start to chip away?
Yeah.
Or will Sheffield hold firm? Will they hold their nerve?
Well,
first Premiership meeting back. First ever Premiership meeting for the Sheffield Tigers. And they have that 4-point advantage here. Heat number 10. Which way will this one go? That's a great start for the Bellevue boys. Richie Worrell in blue. Brady Kurtz now is going to try the outside run in red. He's going out to the dirt, and he's got the 5-1 right now. What a move from Brady Kurtz, and look how fast he is now. Absolutely tearing up the opposition here. Justin Sedgman chasing hard after Richie Worrell. Josh Bates going wide. Worrell under pressure here. Worrell holding his nerve as Sedgman pushes him on the inside. Good speedway developing. Brady Kurtz has gone.
Well, he's in a different planet. He is absolutely flying out in front. Sedgman putting Worrell under all sorts of pressure. Worrell going wide now with Sedgman hugging the inside. But look at Kurtz. I mean, he's the whole length of the straight in front. He is absolutely charging out in front. This is a great way to bounce back for the home team. With the lap to go, a big 5-1 is going to tighten right up again.
Yeah, it's going to level the match here. The length of a straight for Brady Kurtz is the advantage. The man in the red helmet colour. Brady Kurtz for the win. And more importantly, perhaps, Richie Worrell gets the second spot. And the Bellevue Aces level it with a 5-1 of their own in Heat 10, and we've only got 5 races to go, and the scores are level here on the opening night of the Premiership season in Manchester. Home fans delighted with that because they have struck a blow to Sheffield with 5 races remaining here.
Wow, what a night. Brilliant stuff from Kurtz. How fast was he? I mean, Crucky, took quite some time for the second and third and fourth to get over the line. He was almost back in the pits by the time they completed the race.
He was long tracking there, Kel. You'd have been proud of that.
It was very impressive indeed, and he was right up on the banking in the deep dirt on the outside, and he really gained a lot of speed. Super ride from Kurtz, first win of the night for him.
Yeah, brilliant ride from Brady Kurtz, length of a straight, goodness me. Richie Worrell second, Justin Sedgman third, and Josh Bates at the back. 5-1 to the Bellevue Aces, they level it here. Bellevue 30, Sheffield 30, and we've got 5 races remaining on the opening night of the Premiership season here at the National Speedway Stadium in Manchester.
Is this where your prediction that Bellevue Aces are going to pull away in the latter races comes to fruition?
You're trying to get me banned from Overton.
Oh, I see, right. OK, well, that's what you said, live on air, funny
I've got
enough.
friends
Here
there,
comes
but not for
Kurtz,
much
though.
longer.
More importantly, Kurtz. We're looking at Kurtz. He's looking good. He's looking better than you. And round the outside he goes. And I tell you what, they don't see which way he goes. They really did generate an awful lot of speed. Richie Worrell comes under a lot of pressure. Look at Kurtz out there. Look how far in front he was. It's such an impressive ride indeed. But for the second man, Worrell, he comes under all sorts of pressure, but he holds out. And it's a valuable 5-1, and it ties the scores up at 30 points apiece. He enjoyed that, you can see that. And I'm sure he's going to be a big hit here for the Aces this year.
Yep, 10 races gone here then, and it's level. This is beautifully poised, and what a match to have on the opening night of the Premiership campaign here at the National Speedway Stadium. 5 races to go, level pegging. Join us for heat number 11 next.
Your commentary team then of Calvin and Nigel.
Thanks, Abby, and special thanks to Scott. Cheers, mate. Right, heat
How much
number
did that
11.
cost you? The fivers in the post. I know what your checks are like.
Scott knows. Scott knows.
Oh yeah, okay. Some sort of arrangement going on. But no, this is. There we go. You know, I'm sorry, but this is
Believe
2
you
against
me,
1.
I haven't missed him one bit.
No, that's right.
Not one bit.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Right. Well, this is an opportunity for Sheffield, I think, to retake the lead here, Nigel, because on paper I think they may be just a touch stronger than the home team, but it's great to be here tonight because 30 points all at this stage.
Brilliant.
Everything to race for.
Absolutely brilliant. Off the inside in red is Charles Wright for Bellevue. Needs a great start here from the inside gate. Gate 2 for the Sheffield Tigers is Troy Batchelor. Gate 3 is the rising star for Bellevue, Tom Brennan. Kyle Howarth is the Sheffield skipper off the outside. Tom Brennan, the underdog here, but he's been on the pace tonight. You know,
Yeah,
he rides nicely, doesn't he?
He's right. Yeah, he does. And he rode really well in his last ride, and he looked like he was really beginning to settle down. He would have been nervous, of course, before the meeting started. They all were, but for youngsters like this, is so different from Eastbourne down on the south coast, which is a tight, technical track. This is the big, wide, open space. Is more of a European track.
Here we go, heat number 11, great start from Charles Wright off the inside gate. Now Batchelor goes wide, but that allows room on the inside for Tom Brennan. Oh my goodness, what a ride from Brennan. And now Batchelor is going to try the inside run. Batchelor will run wide now as well. That allows the opportunity for Kyle Howard to come on the inside. The lead here then is with the man in the red helmet colour, Charles Wright, and Sheffield working hard to keep Tom Brennan at bay.
They are indeed, and Brennan now coming back into the back picture. Charles Wright out in front, St. Bird right, but look at this is tenacious stuff from Brennan. Brennan went to the back, oh, got squeezed out there once again. The bravery from the youngster, put right out in front for the home team, looking good. But look at Tom Brennan. He just passed Troy Batchelor down the back straight, he hits the dirt, coming out of turn 4, Batchelor now squeezing him up against the fence. There's a good bit of action to go there yet, though.
Brennan again with a handful of throttle down the back straight.
Brilliant!
Oh, he's just about got into third place. Spectacular step here. And Kyle Howard almost losing it. But what a ride that was from Tom Brennan. The race winner was Charles Wright. Got to say that first and foremost, that's his first race win in Bellevue colours for Charles Wright. But what a third place for the young man Tom Brennan. Goodness me, he's got the better of Troy Batchelor. It got really tight coming out of that second turn down the back straight.
Fabulous stuff.
What a race.
What a race indeed for just a solitary point, but it was entertainment extraordinaire. Charles Wright was unaware of all the fireworks that were going on behind him. He rode a spectacular race in front, and he'd be pleased as punch to have won his first race for his new team. Of course he will. But there's no doubt the rising star for the Aces there, Tom Brennan, rode out of his skin to get the better of the experienced Troy Batchelor. That really was quite some effort. And look at the crowd, they're really appreciative of it, giving him a good round of applause there. But for that man, the former British champion, he rode really nicely to pick up the 3 points, but another cracking speedway race there.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff, and fair play to young Tom Brennan. Charles Wright, the race winner. Big win for him, needed it. Kyle Howard second, Tom Brennan third, and Bellevue take the lead at 34 points to 32, and there's 4 races remaining here now in this War of the Roses clash in the Premiership.
Well, it was nearly a war down the back straight there this time. I tell you what, Charles Wright makes a smashing start off the inside, lets the bike run right up the bank and just fires away. At that stage, that very early stage, Brennan was momentarily in second place, but the Sheffield boys come charging through and force him to the back. But he shows great tenacity here because he comes right back into the picture a bit. There you can see how tight it was with Harrath in second place and Batchelor, his teammate, alongside him. But I've got to say, look at this. He comes right round the outside. He's got the back tyre in the dirt. They go down the back straight and he just gets the better of the Australian. And then he has the racing brain to then drop it down to the inside to stop Troy Batchelor getting back up the inside of him. That was a smart ride and a rider who belies his years. But for Charles Wright, a smashing ride from him. And more importantly, of course, that great effort from the youngster Brennan there gave them a 4-2. So they've now got the lead.
4 races remaining in this real tight contest between these two sides, and Charles Wright, former British champion, won the British title on this very track on a memorable night.
Oh, he rode out of his skin. It was a man inspired that night.
Absolutely. And a memorable British final for some spectacular racing from the late Danny Ayres as well. And our thoughts remain with Danny's partner and young family as we build up to heat number 12 here in Manchester. Justin Sedgman is the rider replacement for Adam Ellis. This is the 4th and final time that Sheffield require a rider replacement ride. Stan Bewley off the inside gate, clear favourite for this race. James Wright, brother of Charles, in the opposing camp. Gate 2 in yellow. Jai Etheridge, who's had a fine night here for Bellevue, gate 3 in blue. And then it's Justin Sedgman off the outside, has got a race win under his belt tonight.
Wow.
He's off the outside.
Well, great opportunity for the Aces here. Gates 1 and 3, on paper they are stronger than the Tigers here. With Bewley in the race, and you've got to say that Jai Etheridge has also enjoyed a smashing night of Speedway, so the home team will be relishing this one, and Mark Lemon, the team manager, will be looking for his team to pull away from the Sheffield Tigers, who have kept them under a tremendous amount of pressure throughout this evening's activities, that's for sure. Gates 1 and 3 for the home team, can they take advantage?
Yeah, they brought Josh Bates in yellow here. The reserve switch, it's a good start from Dan Bewley. And Josh Bates is second right now, switching up the inside. For the home side is Jai Etheridge. They're on a 5-1 here. Now the Bellevue Aces. Josh Bates goes wide, the reserve substitute for James Wright. But the lead here is with Dan Bewley. Second place in blue is Jai Etheridge, riding quite beautifully here. Third in white now is Justin Sedgman with Josh Bates, as we say, the replacement for James Wright, training at the back. But it looks like Bellevue are going to build up a 6-point lead now.
Looking good. They were favourite on paper, and in reality it's proving to be so. Dan Bewley looking really good out in front. Jai Etheridge once again riding really strongly. Sedgman's now made his way through into third place. He's got just over a lap to go. Can he do anything about Jai Etheridge? Your eyes on Sedgman. Sedgman's beginning to wind it on. Could he do anything down the back straight? He's going to pick up some speed. Bewley's got the race. Should be a 5-1.
Yeah, Dan Bewley on his way to his second victory of the night. And it's going to be second spot for Jai Etheridge. Big 5-1. Jai Etheridge with a second place that means so much for Bellevue because he's partnered Dan Bewley, and the Aces have just got a 5-1, and now with only 3 races to go, the Aces have built up a 6-point lead, and there's pressure on Batchelor and Holder for Sheffield in the next race, Heat 13, to claw themselves back into it if we're going to take this the distance to Heat 15.
Great response from the home crowd here. They're on their feet, celebrating that. Jai Etheridge has had a smashing night, and Dan Bewley really coming good when he needed to. Quite clearly your plan is coming to fruition, Nigel.
It's not a plan.
Yeah, I thought it was.
No, you're going to have the Sheffield fans on my back. It's
well,
just a prediction.
You said it live on air, mate. But nonetheless, it seems to be working out because of the 6-point lead. With just 3 races to go. Bewley looking fabulous out in front, and Jai Etheridge doing sterling work in second place.
Bewley and Etheridge with a 5-1 over Sedgman. 5-1, 39-33. And 31-16 to Ipswich. 31-17. 31-17. Ipswich lead Kings Lynn at the Adrian Flux Arena.
Say that again.
31-17.
Wow.
To Ipswich.
Wow, that really is quite an extraordinary scoreline, that's for sure. Looks like the home team really are struggling there up in Norfolk. Here we see the race again. Bewley on the inside really just make the best of it. Tight coming out of the first corner. I thought for a moment Sedgman might have been able to get up the inside there, but Etheridge has ridden so well this evening, he had it covered. Got to say that Sedgman works hard. Bates is into third for momentarily, but really and truly, Dan Bewley out in front doesn't really have any worries at all here. It's just about keeping the bike going. He looks very impressive and wins in fine style. And for Jai Etheridge, back in second place, the big 5-1 to stretch to a 6-point lead with 3 heats to go is very useful indeed. Good riding from Bewley, looking good.
Yep, so we've got a huge Heat 13 coming up now with Brady Kurtz and Charles Wright up against Troy Batchelor and Jack Holder. We have a slight delay at the moment because there is a medical issue in the pits area at the moment. So
what do we think of Bewley? You know, he had that nasty injury that really did sort of like put him on the back foot, but riding out in Poland alongside the likes of Ty Woofenden and Maciej Janowski, quite clearly in Wrocław he's getting, and of course they've got Greg Hancock as a consultant out there now. It looks like those influences are paying off.
Yes, and Woofy, I know, has taken a lot of time with Dan. He's offered him the use of his equipment when he's been out injured and things like that, you know, so that can only benefit him as well, to have a 3-times world champion really helping you along. And the fact that, you know, we've got the Speedway of Nations actually here in Manchester in October, you know, that's going to be something special with
Robert Lambert,
the European champion.
Of course, Robert Lambert in the Grand Prix this year, of course. European champion, based out in Poland, riding out there for Toruń. I've got to say there's 3 riders that would be high up on the list to represent Great Britain here at the end of the season in the World Cup. Let's keep our fingers crossed that they all remain fit. Of course, Ty Woofenden has been out with a shoulder injury and he's working furiously hard to get back, so it shouldn't be too long.
Right, let's head down to the infield once again now. Here's Abby.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let's continue talking about Dan Bewley. So impressive, 2 race wins so far tonight. We've heard about the influences that the guys were talking. How important is that to suddenly have like a real team around you that help you on your career trajectory?
Oh, definitely helps. I mean, Dan's relatively new to Speedway as well, so he's come an awful long way in such a short time. And I think having that support in Poland, like with Ty Wolfenden, I know he's got his mechanics and stuff involved, that's going to be a huge help to him. And the tracks in Poland are not too different to here, and we know how quick Dan can be around here. He's a very light rider, which is a massive advantage on these big wide open tracks. So he's showing it tonight. It looked like he's kind of just need a little bit of time to settle into it early doors, but you can see his last race here takes full advantage of that inside gate, and he knows the track well. He doesn't do anything too silly there, doesn't drift out too wide to the dirt, has a little cheeky look for his teammate there, and once he's in front, he's very, very quick.
Let's talk about his teammate, Jai Etheridge. What night he's having.
He's having a super night, isn't he? Kind of popped out with the win, then ran a last, popped out with the win again, and he's the man doing the work here. The thing with this track at Bellevue, the race just ended there, Dan Bewley, when you're in front, you've got clear traffic, you can go where you want, you can keep momentum up. Jai Etheridge there was having to try and hold the traffic up. He's trying to cover the track. That's when you can lose your momentum here. That's when it becomes exceptionally difficult. So sterling right for Jai Etheridge there.
Well, you and Nigel at the moment seem to be taking a route that is proving...
Of the home side, the Bellevue Aces have really worked hard to claw this back after they were, 4 points behind after heat 9, and then have had 2 5-1s and a 4-2 to turn it around. Batchelor off the inside in white. He has had good meetings around here in the past. Brady Kurtz won comfortably last time out by the length of a straight. Jack Holder, Sheffield's man of the match so far, off gate 3 in yellow, and Charles Wright is off the outside in blue. He's just got his first race win in Bellevue colours under his belt as well.
Yeah, all 4 riders really beginning to make their mark on the meeting. Troy Batchelor's looking for a really big performance, but the other 3 have all won races this evening, so this is a really competitive heat number 13, a critical race, you would say, in the outcome of this meeting. Sheffield dropping behind, they've got to bounce back now. The home team really putting them to the sword. Great racing prospect.
Yep, here we go, the huge moment in the meeting. It's a great start from Jack Holder. Batchelor's with him as well. Now, it might need a bit of team riding. Jack Holder can really do with his looking over his shoulder. Batchelor's race rusty. Bellevue are all over him. Bellevue are all over him, and they've passed him in one turn. Unbelievable move. Batchelor's coming back. Batchelor's passed them both as well. Oh. Breathtaking stuff. Back up the inside comes Brady Kurtz. Down the back straight. Oh, my goodness me.
Kurtz comes back into second place. What an opening lap for Speedway that was for second, third and fourth. Batchelor now being passed by Charles Wright. Smashing start from Holder. Holder's out in front. Got to say, Batchelor hasn't thrown the towel in, but he hasn't quite got the speed required. This will do Bellevue very nicely indeed. Holder doing the business out in front. Then Batchelor find any way of getting the better of Charles Wright in third.
Jack Holder is making it look easy again here, but Bellevue will take this all day long. Batchelor has packed up at the back. It's a win here for Jack Holder for Sheffield. Second place is Brady Kurtz for Bellevue and Charles Wright third, and that will do Bellevue nicely.
Yeah.
A terrific win for Jack Holder, but the 3 apiece is all Bellevue needed there to maintain that 6-point advantage with 2 races to go here in Manchester.
Well, how good is Jack Holder tonight? That was a tough race, and he made it look very straightforward indeed. He made a smashing start, and really and truly didn't come under too much pressure. He's got a lot of speed, and he's riding out of his skin. Great effort there from Troy Batchelor initially. It looked like they were going to pick up a 5-1 there, but Batchelor just didn't quite have the speed. In actual fact, on the last lap, he seemed to slow and lose power from his bike. But a 3-all will do the home team just nicely.
Yep, Holder from Kurtz and Wright, 3 apiece. It means that with 2 heats to go, Bellevue leads Sheffield by 42 points to 36.
Tapes are up. Look at that start from Holder. Absolutely fabulous out of the start. Batchelor's there with him on the inside, and at this very early stage it looks like they're going to have a 5-1 and really put pressure on the Aces, but here they come. One either side of him. He just didn't have the speed. He was caught in no man's land. Batchelor then chops back to the inside, momentarily back into second place. Wow, this track does give us some action. Really was an action-packed opening lap of Speedway. Superb stuff from Holder. They don't see which way he goes. There was never really any danger of him getting beaten here. Batchelor was really having to work extremely hard. Here we see the entrance to turn 3. They go either side of the Australian. Batchelor then wises up to it and comes back to the inside. It's really nip and tuck. He then runs wide here and down the back straight for the second time. 3 abreast. It really was exciting stuff indeed. Here they come, either side of him once again. Charles Wright up the inside. Got to say, Troy Batchelor just running out of room there. with Brady Kurtz forcing his way back into second place. It was spectacular stuff. Speedway out of the top draw. Superb.
I've missed that. Say that again.
Speedway out of the top draw in heat 13.
Absolutely. Man in yellow, heat 14, is Jack Holder as a tactical substitution. 6 points down, Sheffield. When you're 6 points down, you can bring in a tactical substitution once in the meeting.
Well, he could do 3 on the bounce here.
3 on the bounce indeed. Simon Stead having a chat with him there, the Tigers team manager. And Jack Holder will go in yellow in heat 14 as a tactical substitution. Now, I don't know whether he's looking at this and thinking we're still in this, we can still nick a win here.
Oh, he's going for the win.
He is, of course, but let me
winning.
just explain. Of course, if you lose by 6 or less away from home, you do get a consolation league point.
I understand that, but I think Simon came here to win.
He did, of course.
And I think he's ambitious. I think he wanted to try and get. He's got a rider that's riding absolutely fabulously well, and he will be favourite coming into this race. It will be gate 4 for Holder, and that's not easy this evening, but the speed he's got, you wouldn't bet against him. But Stevie Worrell and Tom Brennan, and Brennan has got speed, and Steve Worrell is more than capable of picking up the big points here. But for Sedgman and Holder, they're trying to give themselves an outside shout of a last heat decider here.
So, heat 14 coming up. 37.23 now for Ipswich at Kings Lynn after 10 races. They've caught up pretty quickly there, actually, haven't they? After not
they rushed them through quite
15,
clearly.
yeah.
The weather's awful there, and they've obviously wanted to get the race meeting done and completed, and they're going to do that. Great work done just to get the meeting on there, I would suggest.
Oh, you've got a feel for Wolverhampton, haven't you? Chris Van Straten there after 20-odd months of no speedway action, over 500 days. They get 2 races in, and it has to be abandoned because the rain has ruined the track there.
Well, you can't legislate for that, particularly in May. I mean, crikey, April, I don't think we had a spot of rain, and then May's been quite wet.
What about lockdown in May last year? It was
gorgeous. It was just, we had almost
couldn't go anywhere.
We had uninterrupted sunshine for the whole year almost.
And we couldn't go anywhere.
No, very disappointing. Anyway,
Heat 14,
Heat 14, more importantly than the weather.
Yes.
There's a meeting to be won and lost here.
Well, whatever happens in these next 2 heats, Carl, what a start to the season.
This has been a great advert, and we have bounced back onto the screens on Eurosport in fine style, and the people in the stadium, the privileged people in the stadium tonight, will have really enjoyed this. It's been a proper Speedway meeting.
Yes, we hope you've enjoyed our coverage tonight. Monday Night Speedway is back, and this is heat number 14. Tom Brennan going off the inside in blue. By the way, post-match reaction to the action through till 10 tonight. Just a reminder of that, so don't switch off after heat 15. Tom Brennan off the inside in blue. He rode well last time out. Justin Sedgman off 2 for Sheffield. Steve Worrell for Bellevue off gate 3. And the man of the moment, Jack Holder, tactical substitution off the outside in yellow.
Well, the other lads haven't got that many points, but they've all been trying their hearts out. You know that. Holder's got 14, and even a rider like Brennan's got 2 points, but he's certainly been in the thick of the action. I've got to say, this is a little bit of a roll of the dice here from Simon Stead, the Sheffield Tigers team manager. Can he put it off?
Here we go then with heat 14. Start from the man in the white helmet colour, Justin Sedgman, and now Jack Holder around the outside is surely going to come round and join him. He is. Sedgman in white, Holder in yellow, 2 Australians, wheel to wheel. They've got to hold out Tom Brennan and Steve Hall here. Sedgman and Holder looking over their shoulder. Sedgman is an experienced rider, Justin Sedgman in white, and he's riding beautifully. Holder's with it. They're riding a nice line here, Sheffield. They are far from done yet, folks.
No, they haven't thrown in the towel. Could be a master stroke from Simon Stead, the team manager. Sedgman riding great here. They cleared off out in front. Holder and Sedgman dominating proceedings here in heat 14. Going to put them right back in it. And we're going to have a last heat decider night. Unbelievable stuff.
Oh, we love that. Absolutely. Sheffield taking us all the way here tonight in our first meeting of the season. It's Jack Holder in yellow, Justin Sedgman in white. Tom Brennan is holding 3rd place in blue, and he's having a go. He's in the dirt, really going for it, Tom Brennan. Oh my goodness. And then it's a 5-1 to the Sheffield Tigers. Bellevue lead by 2 with 1 race to go. We're going the distance, and on the first night of our brand new season of coverage for British Speedway, we've got ourselves a last heat decider.
Yes, absolutely. And what a way to bounce back. A master stroke from the Tigers management, that's for sure. Holder coming in, but Sedgman was the star there. He looked for his partner down the back straight, allowed him to come right, and they rode beautifully as a pair, picking up the vital 5 points. 2 points in it with 1 race to go. This is what Speedway's about. League racing at its finest here tonight. And you've got to say,
great advert for British Speedway, and let's see who comes out on top. Dan Bewley there. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him. He's lined off that gate 2. He's desperately got to try and get across Sedgy and stop his run the first turn. If he can do that, then that should secure the win for the Bellevue Aces.
Well, let's see. I'll hand you back to your commentary team then of Calvin Tayton and first Nigel Pearson.
Thank you, Abby. Yes, heat number 15 it is. 43-41 Bellevue lead this one against the Sheffield Tigers. A 3-all will do nicely for Bellevue. They will win the meeting. Justin Sedgman off the inside in white for Sheffield Tigers. Dan Bewley for the Bellevue Aces, gate 2 in red. Jack Holder, 17 points out of a possible 18 tonight, is off gate 3 in yellow. And Brady Kurtz going off the outside in the blue helmet colour for the Bellevue Aces. Bellevue lead by 2. They only need 2nd and 3rd place here. But
only
Sheffield, a 4-2 gives them a draw, and a 5-1 would pinch the win right at the end.
yeah, you've got to say the odds favour the home team to pick up a win. But the Tigers have done remarkably well to stay in it here right to the heat 15, right to the last heat. And with the gates 1 and 3, they've got half a chance. I've got to say that Sedgman rode superbly well in the previous race. Can he back it up here in the race that really matters? But we will wait and see. This is an Aussie final, effectively. All 4 are Australian, so we're going to give a real big Aussie shootout here. But fabulous way to finish the night, that's for sure.
Yeah, great stuff. Heat number 15, which way we go? And it's a dream start for Sedgman, and Holder is surely going to come and join him. Bewley's got to try the inside run. Here comes Dan Bewley now. Bewley's got that advantage in the red helmet colour. Now Holder's after him. Sedgman made a dream start there. Brady Kurtz is now charging hard after the man in the white helmet colour here, Justin Sedgman. And now Jack Holder will try the outside run. It's looking good for Bellevue here. Dan Bewley doing his job, Cal.
Beauty out in front, superb on that first lap. Got to say, Sedgman made a great start, but Beauty just too good. Out there, Kurtz is going big style out the back, but Beauty out in front. He's probably going to seal the deal for the home team here this evening. Kurtz now through into 3rd place. That'll do nicely. A 4-2 on the cards. What a fantastic night of Speedway we've witnessed. They're into the last lap. Heat 15. Been a super night. Beauty looks like he's going to tie it up with a win.
Watch out for Holder, he's not done yet. He wants it, he wants it. Bewley goes wide, he knows every inch of this track. Dan Bewley to the line. Bellevue take the victory, but only just here in Manchester at the end of a fantastic night of Speedway between 2 brilliant Speedway teams. My goodness me, the fans are back. Speedway is back. What a night we've had. Bellevue take the win. Sheffield take a consolation league point back across to South Yorkshire.
Yeah, fully deserved as well for Sheffield. They put their home team to the sword throughout the evening. Fabulous way to finish the night. Great to see.